a black raging river. Paragraph 21. The ocean had begun its attack. Just 30 minutes after the earthquake, a black wave hit. The tsunami wall crumbled like a sandcastle. Many people had climbed up onto the wall, believing they would be safe. All were swept away. Water rushed into the streets, rising so quickly that cars, trucks, homes, and people were swallowed in seconds. The water, now a black raging river filled with debris, boats, and wrecked homes, rushed deeper into the city and up into the hills. The students watched in shock as their school was engulfed. At the elementary school, a car, listed by the waters, crashed into the building's third floor, exactly where the teachers had planned to wait with the children after the quake. If they had stayed, they would have likely been killed. Similar scenes were unfolding up and down Japan's coast. In a matter of minutes, hundreds of small cities, bustling towns, quaint fishing villages, and quiet farming communities were disappearing under the water. The seawater traveled further inland than anyone imagined it could. Miles from the ocean, towns were overwhelmed. And then, like a monster returning to its lair, the water was sucked back into the Pacific Ocean. Thousands of people had survived the quake, and the waves were swept out to the sea. In the hours after the quake and the tsunami, Aki, Kana, and Fumaya stood amid a group of hundreds of stunned students and teachers. They eventually made their way to one of the city's surviving school buildings, where they found no food, water, or lights. They spent the night there, shivering in the cold, terrified for their families. They went to another school the next day, and the full picture of the disaster started to become clear. They learned that much of Kamashi was gone, that hundreds of people had died and many more were missing. Most of the students' homes were lost. 14 students lost one or both parents. Aki, Kana, and Fumaya were among the lucky. Their families were safe, finding hope. The disaster that hit Japan on March 11, 2011 is now known as the Great Tohoku Earthquake. The earthquake was the strongest to ever strike Japan and the fourth most powerful in all of recorded history. But it was this tsunami that caused the most death and destruction. Approximately 18,000 people were killed. 100,000 buildings were destroyed. In some areas of the coast, the water rose to a staggering 133 feet. Hundreds of communities were destroyed. Bustling cities, beautiful villages, vibrant towns, centuries-old neighborhoods. For miles in every direction, there was nothing left but toxic mud littered with the wreckage of homes and businesses. Tanker ships had been dragged miles from the sea. Smashed cars teetered on buildings. But amid the hopelessness, many found inspiration in the story of the students of Kamashi East. Not one student or teacher died in this disaster. The story of the students quickly spread around the country. Most agree it was the years of preparation and the quick-thinking students that made the difference. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for them, Mr. Sato said, and it's the students who have given us hope and strength to move on. Open up your packet, complete the last questions before your exit ticket.